thank you to my boss, happy birthday boss on LinkedIn. Like, what the hell? Hollywood Hogan's not saying happy birthday to his boss on LinkedIn, okay? Like, if you know wrestling, you know that Hulk Hogan had to become Hollywood Hogan. Even if you don't know wrestling, Hulk Hogan definitely rings a bell.
Look at this! He's I don't believe it! Dropping a big leg!
It's the yellow and red guy, okay? It's I am a real American, it's Mr. America, he's the real guy, he's the best guy, okay? There's recently been a documentary about him. By the way, rip Hulk Hogan because he's no longer with us. But anyway, Hulk Hogan had to become Hollywood Hogan. Now in wrestling, you've got something called a face and you've got something called a heel. Now the face generally is like the good guy. It's short for baby face, or like, you know, kind of like the clean shaven look. So a very famous face would be, for example, John Cena, you know, Bing Chilling. And then John Cena's heel was Randy Orton.
Watch out, watch out, watch out!
Who's the evil snake guy, okay? You know, the RKO and everything. So that's kind of how wrestling storylines work. You got the face, you got the heel, you got the good guy, you got bad guy, okay? And sometimes the wrestlers switch, very rarely, but sometimes a wrestler will become a heel, even though their entire career was basically a face. And that's pretty much exactly what happened to Hulk Hogan. Even to the extent that he was then known as Hollywood Hogan, okay? And it's such an easy distinction from like his first character to the second is because he was yellow and then he turned black. And he even had a black beard and everything like this, and this whole like bad boy kind of personality. Now, why did Hogan do it? And why do you need to do it, okay? So, it's not obviously about wrestling, this video, but there comes a point in everybody's life or career or whatever, for example in Hulk Hogan's career, where fans were getting bored of him and the whole kind of like action hero superstar was just not working. He was seen as like a childish wrestler in the end. And even though you may think wrestling is childish, back in the day it was, you know, everybody loved it, everybody watched it. Everybody fully watched wrestling. It was one of the biggest forms of entertainment. It's sort of like, I don't know, GTA 5 levels, probably even better than that. Obviously I wasn't alive to tell you exactly what it was like, but that's what it was like. Now by 1996, Hulk Hogan essentially had worn out that yellow kind of hero character, and he already started branching his career out into, for example, acting, like movies. Back in the day it wasn't so common to become an actor like it is now. Like the wrestling to acting pipeline is very real. You got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you got John Cena,
Bing Chilling.
Obviously you got Hogan, right? So he decided to make a massive change. He went from hero to villain, he went from face to heel, okay? Hollywood Hogan was absolutely massive. People loved like the evil Hulk Hogan. It was like an alter ego that came back. Even though he was old, he was an old wrestler then. Like usually wrestlers just kind of quit at that point. He came back. One of the key takeaways from Hogan's early career is that comfort is kind of the enemy of growth, because obviously the whole Hulkamania idea worked for years and years and years. But then slowly fans started catching on and realizing, okay, maybe this whole good guy thing is not as fun and cool. And if Hogan just wins every single match he's in and he's this bright yellow, like massive guy, it's not going to work, right? And even if Hulk Hogan is obviously a wrestler, we can kind of link this to, for example, your career or a relationship that's not working. Let's say that you're working in like a supermarket, right? And you've outgrown it already. Like you've climbed the ranks, you're a manager or whatever. Realistically, you're not going to climb your way up to CEO, okay? Could you make a massive switch and move into a different industry and make more money and actually get paid for your skills? Yes, you could. But that's kind of like the dark side that you're afraid of, okay? That's like the evil Anakin Skywalker, or that's like Hollywood Hogan right there. You want to be Hulk Hogan, you want to stay on your current salary, you want to stay in your current job because it's easy and nice. But what you gotta do is you gotta embrace the Hollywood Hogan. Does that make sense? So stepping back to Hogan, right? He didn't tweak his character because he could have slightly changed up the Hulk Hogan brand and maybe been less PG, for example. Because obviously you'll know Hulk Hogan for all say your prayers and eat your vitamins, right? That kind of like action hero who was like a guiding light to kids, he went completely off the rails. He completely flipped the world upside down. Nobody was expecting it. This was such a big change. He literally went from good guy to evil guy. That's the kind of change you gotta make if you want. This is gonna sound so stupid. Like, if you want to make a change, you gotta make a massive change and fast, okay? Nobody's gonna wait for you. Because if Hogan had just slowly become like the heel, right? It would not have been exciting. It would have been like a weird switch. Like, what was he gonna wear? Like, in between the yellow character and the black character, was he gonna be like a weird, like brown, like middle evil Hogan? Like, what would they have even called him? Like, confused Hogan, depressed Hogan? No, we want Hollywood Hogan. We want like the guy that's full of himself. It's so different. Like, we don't want the humble Hulk Hogan. We want Hollywood Hogan. It's turning up on a motorcycle and smashing guys' heads together and fighting with the referee. Okay, that's exactly why you gotta make a massive change and fast. Okay, but it's not only about making fast change. Like, sometimes it kind of, you gotta, like, I bet you have thoughts that are kind of like not darker, but more repressed thoughts, and maybe some ideas that you've pushed to the side because you think they're a bit too edgy, they're a bit too weird, people are going to judge me for them. Well, guess what? Hollywood Hogan doesn't care. Like, Hollywood Hogan would not care, he'd just do them. So you gotta just embrace the stuff that you've pushed to the side. And if you do want to make a massive difference and a massive change, you gotta stop caring about what other people think in that kind of situation. And you gotta make the big difference and fast. Like, going back to the supermarket example, that would be kind of playing it safe. But for example, if you have supermarket experience, but your whole life you wanted to work in, let's say, logistics, right? You wanted to be working with trucks or that kind of stuff. I guarantee you there's a company out there that's going to give you a chance working in a logistics warehouse at some managerial level. Supermarkets have quite a lot in common with logistics. It's a lot of stock management, a lot of things like that, a lot of people management, right? And you might be too scared. You might think, oh, these are two different like things. LinkedIn wouldn't let me go and get that job. Doesn't matter, okay? You think Hollywood Hogan cares that the experience isn't exactly the same? Hollywood Hogan would go get experience as a like nurse at a pet doctor. God, what are they called? A vet. And then he'd go and apply to be a surgeon. And if he doesn't get it, it doesn't matter. He'd start his own surgery. You know what I mean? Like, that's maybe a bit ridiculous, but you're getting the idea here. Like, if you ever had some kind of goal that you're pushing behind for whatever reason, you gotta just attack it straight up. So turning heel saved Hogan's career, okay? And it's not even necessarily the fact that you have to turn evil. You don't have to become evil Hulk Hogan. Basically, you just gotta make a big change, is what the point is. You gotta just step away from the norm. Maybe your norm is bad guy, you gotta turn to the good guy, but basically, now Hulk Hogan turning heel basically saved his career. And even if you don't have a career to save at the moment, you're gonna make a big change. For example, let's just use this as an example. Hulk Hogan changed to a heel, obviously. Now, you may want to do like a gym Instagram page, and you may want to post, and you may want people to see, and you may want to try to get some sponsorships or something like that. That might be one of your goals, right? But currently, you've got an Instagram page that all your family knows about, and your girlfriend, and everything like that. And let's just say it's pictures of your dog, and like a birthday, and work party or whatever. People are gonna treat you weird if you just start posting shirtless selfies and like flexing in the mirror videos. Ask me how I know. The change that you're doing, how you're becoming Hollywood Hogan, is you're gonna stop posting on your main page. Because let's be honest here, it doesn't matter. Nobody's gonna care, and you're gonna put all that effort into starting a new page, and it's gonna be a fitness related one only. That's all you're gonna post about there. It's gonna be a 9 fitness like posts and then like one personal brand kind of thing. You're gonna change your brand. You're gonna go all in into one thing, and that's your like Hollywood Hogan page. That's your alter like evil ego. That's like your alter ego, like alternate page. Like, full evil Hulk Hogan has turned into Hollywood Hogan, right? Hulk Hogan can stay on this main page, but Hulk Hogan doesn't need to post. People already know about Hulk Hogan. They're already bored of him. People are bored of you. They don't care. No company wants to sponsor you. Like nobody cares. You probably get like 10 likes per probably get like 10 likes per post, right? But Hollywood Hogan, your new page, like fitness page or whatever, maybe it's toy trains, maybe it's dinosaurs. I don't care. But whatever your like passion is, your new page, you're gonna find random people on the internet who will actually care, and they will like your posts, and you will get traction. And if you keep going, you'll probably get sponsorships. And that was just impossible at the beginning with like the Hulk Hogan kind of approach was impossible. You had to become Hollywood Hogan. You had to do a 180, you had to switch around, stop posting about stuff that nobody cares about because let's face it, you're not actually that interesting, nobody is. But when Hulk Hogan painted his beard black, suddenly he became interesting. He didn't change as a person. It's not like his physique changed or the wrestling moves he was using changed, or some wrestling guys might get me for this, but it's not like that was the change. The change was just how he packaged himself, what he showed, the whole kind of, Hulk Hogan went from like a one man band to like, he became like part of a stable, New World Order. Everything changed. He realized this is what the fans want and this is what they're going to get. So if you have something that you want to show what people want to see. Show what you want to show. Don't show what you feel like you're forced to show because, for example, oh, it's Pizza Friday at work. I better take a video and post it on my page and say, oh my God, I'm so excited. Or like, oh, thank you to my boss. Happy birthday, boss, on LinkedIn. Like, what the hell? Hollywood Hogan's not saying happy birthday to his boss on LinkedIn, okay? Like, basically what I'm saying is keep 2 sets of socials. That's an awesome advice. 1 set for everybody and 1 set for whatever goals you have in mind. Because guess what? There's millions of people that are going to watch your content. And if you're not still like financially free with fuck you money, you may not want your boss to see the Hollywood Hogan side. But you do have to have a Hollywood Hogan side because that's the one that's going to take you out of poverty, make you tons of dough, make you like happy with what you're posting, make you proud of what you're doing basically, and allow you to like express your interest and knowledge to the world, okay? So this channel is my Hollywood Hogan. And the fact that people listen to it is awesome. I know what, thank you so much for watching to this point, because I know there's probably like 2 or 3 of you, but it does generally mean like the world. And yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. Shout out to the Mole Man, and yeah, become Hollywood Hogan.